Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let's chant one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita, verse chapter 10, text 9. Does anyone need to go first? Yes, Aditi Lata Mataji. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Machita Madgata Prana Udayanta Parasparam Kathayanta Samantyam Krishyanti Charanti. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and peace from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Arunita. Yeah, I could not hear you so well, but I could tell that you finished reading. Achintya Dev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Machinta Madgata Prana, Udhyanta Parasparam, Kathyantascha Mam Nityam, Dusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Translation: the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Isha.
Machitkamagata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayanta shramam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Krishna Shish.
Machitamadgata prana udayanta parasparam kathayanta shama nityam dusyanti charamanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Madhava.
Matsutta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayanta Nityam Pasyanti Taramantika. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Rasapriya.
Matsitta Madgata Prano Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayanta Samam Nityam Tasyanti Charamantika. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Banda Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Machita Madgata Pranam Bodhayantaha Parasparam Katyantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Bhagavad Gita 10:9. Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayantah Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Dusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, Inba, Inya and Jai Ganesh Prabhu, you can recite the verse. Still connecting. Yes, Inba, you can recite. Inba, Inya and Jai Ganesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katyantascha mam nityam tusyanti cha ramanti cha. Translation. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Inia.
Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Translation. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Thank you, Mataji.
Jai
Hare
Ganesh
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Jai
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Machitta matkata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Sorry, Mataji, it got closed here. 1 minute, Mataji. Yeah.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Machita matgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Translation. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4. Ambarish Maharaj offended by Durvasa Muni. That's the title of the chapter. So, we are seeing what Lord Vishnu is saying to Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni, after going to various personalities, to various planets, then going to Lord Brahma, getting refused, and then going to Lord Shiva, they're also getting refused shelter. Finally, on Lord Shiva's advice, he arrives at Lord Vishnu's residence, Vaikuntha. And there he begged Lord Vishnu to please relieve him from his offense to Ambarish Maharaj, who is very dear to the Supreme Lord. And then the Supreme Lord said, Aham Bhakta Paradhina. I am controlled by my devotees. I am not independent. And what to speak of my devotees? I am controlled by those who are devotees of my devotees also. And then we also saw one more verse, 64. Yeah, O best of the Brahmanas, without saintly persons, for whom I am the only goal. Without such saintly persons, I don't like my opulences, my transcendental opulences and transcendental bliss even. I don't consider it of any value. I don't want to enjoy all this if my devotees are not there. That means those saintly persons for whom I am the only destination. So there, what did we read in Srila Prabhupada's purport? Yeah, how although he is Atma Rama, he is self-sufficient, still he wants, he likes, he derives more pleasure when there is more devotees. He gets pleasure from his devotees, period. And we discussed how it is. Because that, whatever he is getting from the devotees is not the devotees' property. What they are offering him, what he is tasting from the devotees is bhakti. That's what he is tasting. When we offer patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, and whatever else we cook, different items and we offer to the Lord, is the Lord enjoying your rice, dal, sabji, puri, halwa? No. In the form of your rice, dal, and puris and halwa and garlands, what he's actually tasting is your love, your bhakti. That's what he's hankering for. So then he's getting pleasure from the devotees outside of him. No. The bhakti which he's tasting is his own Shakti. That is his internal energy. His Halladini Shakti in a condensed form is bhakti. So his bhakti only he is investing in the hearts of devotees and he's tasting his own property. That's how he is self-sufficient. But at the same time, although he is self-sufficient, he wants more and more devotees. And any devotee who strives to satisfy this desire of the Lord, he tries to bring more and more people to Krishna consciousness, then such devotee becomes very, very dear to the Supreme Lord. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, there's no one more dear to me than that devotee. So, the Lord said, I don't value my opulences, my bliss without my devotees. That's what we read in the previous one. And then, so this devotee knows the science of transcendental bliss. And he is engaged in increasing the transcendental bliss of the Lord. Because he knows the Lord derives transcendental bliss in the association of devotees. So therefore he tries to increase more and more devotees. Why? Why does he try to increase more and more devotees? So that he becomes recognized by the world. Oh, such a nice devotee, he is bringing so many people to Krishna consciousness. So these are all the pitfalls, right? So we have to cross all this. And Anyabhilashita Shunyam, where will we go? That is the catch. That Abhilasha in the heart, right? That's why, although it sounds pretty simple, Bhavagrahi Janardana, Krishna is looking at your Bhava, means what? What is it that you really want to do? Do you want to please the Lord? Or through your devotional service, you're trying to get something for yourself in the name of devotional service? Of course, the Lord is very kind. Anyone who has such desires, he fulfills those desires. But that won't be considered pure unalloyed devotional service. So how can we get pure unalloyed devotional service? We can get pure unalloyed devotional service. Of course, sadhana bhakti we can begin when we get full shraddha by the mercy of devotees, by hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam in the association of devotees again and again, we get faith and we'll begin pure devotional service. But in the initial stages, that pure devotional service is simply a conviction that this is the right thing to do, this is what I'm supposed to do. There may not be that attachment for the Lord in the initial stages. Still you're a pure devotee. Still you're a pure devotee. As long as you are sticking to the principle of bhakti. Prabhupada, yesterday also I was discussing, isn't it? Prabhupada always stresses the point of you follow the formula that I've given you. You follow the rules and regulations that are given. Simply follow this and everything else will come. And if you're following very strictly with surrender, that this is what I want to do. I don't have any other desire in life. My only desire is to follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. I want to be a pure devotee. Even with that aspiration, if you're constantly trying, constantly, you're a pure devotee. But at this, in the initial stages, we won't have that attachment to Krishna, especially in Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. But why we won't have? Because we have anarthas still. But by renderings, by doing sadhana, that all these anarthas are gradually being removed. And when anartha nivritti happens, You become fixed in your devotional service, and then you start getting taste. Not taste sometimes, not like that. Sometimes when you're in the association, this is discussed in Nectar of Devotion, that Ratyabhasa, uh, or Chaya, what is it called? Chaya something. So two types of ecstasies or bhava you experience, but that doesn't mean you have come to the bhava stage yet. How does it happen? The thing is that happens for, it's called kada chitki. Kada chitki means it'll like a lightning, it'll come and it'll go away. It's not lasting. Whereas in bhava stage, when you go nishta onwards, actually, nishta means no more fall downs, no falling down. Nishta means no falling down. Up to nishta, you'll have some fall downs, but still, even when you have fall downs, you will regret like anything. Oh, I'm so fallen, I'm so heinous, I'm not a devotee. And that feeling will once again bring you back to the stage like that. But when you come to Nishta will come after all anarthas are removed. And there no more fall downs. Steadily you're rendering devotional service. But even in the initial stages, Anyabhilashita Shunyam is required, my dear friends. If Anyabhilashita Shunyam is not there, it's not yet pure devotional service. No other Abhilasha, save and except pleasing Krishna, that's pure devotional service. So, but what I'm saying is in the initial stages, you won't have attachment to Krishna, the person, but you get a taste for devotional service. You'll experience happiness in the association of devotees. You'll experience happiness in rendering devotional service, right? Whether making garlands or distributing books or even deity worship, of course, you'll experience happiness. So your attachment is to the service itself, not directly to Krishna. Your attachment is to the devotional service. That's also pure devotional service. It's not that it's not pure devotional service. But as you progress and you come to asakti stage, at that stage, now instead of being attached to the service, you will be directly attached to Krishna, the person. Yeah. So that's what will happen in later stages. So again, let me go back. 1 second, Achintya Prabhu. I'm just trying to see why I got there. 64. Yeah. The science of transcendental bliss is known to the pure devotee, and the pure devotee is always engaged in increasing the transcendental happiness of the Lord. Yes. So what I was trying to say was that this devotee, he has attachment to Krishna, the person, and why he's sacrificing everything to satisfy Krishna, to make him happy, because now he's attached to Krishna. But in the initial stages, you may be doing it because this is the order of my spiritual master. I want to please my spiritual master. That's also good. That's also pure devotional service. You may not be directly attached to Krishna. But Krishna says, even those who are devotees of my devotees, I am controlled by them. Krishna becomes controlled by you. That's also pure devotional service. But in later stages, advanced stages, you will actually be attached to Krishna. How can we get that attachment? We can get that when Krishna gives his mercy. No other way. But when will Krishna give his mercy? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamapayati. So from our side, we have to very sincerely, don't leave any stones unturned. Render devotional service. We hear it again and again. That's why we need to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in Srimad Bhagavatam, So many verses, you'd open any canto actually. You just hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami's verses. Again and again it's being said, this world is false, don't be attached to things of this world. Don't waste your time in accumulating things in this world. All this is going to be here only. Use your time, and how to best use your time? Hear about Krishna. We hear about Krishna's qualities, hear about Krishna's pastimes, hear about Krishna's names, chant his names. Spend your time like this. And when we do this, then we get Krishna's attention. And when Krishna gives his mercy, then we will get attachment for Krishna and so on and so forth. Achinta Dev Prabhu? Yes, Prabhuji, sorry.
No, Mataji, I didn't want to interrupt your flow. So Mataji, you spoke about offerings for the Lord, and he really does not enjoy the items that you prepare for him, but it's the bhakti or the that we have.
Love that you're offering, yeah.
So Mataji, in the current situation when most people are working from home, and the way that working from home is they make you work more than when you are physically there. So you are always into a meeting one after the other. And in that time, even in the meeting, if you are preparing for Bhoga for the Lord, what should be our thought process in that? Because half of your mind is in that meeting that is going on, but you have to also prepare. So, or in general, whenever we are cooking for the Lord, what should be our thought process? Since, as you just said, it's not the items, but the love and.
Prabhuji, so it's not the items from the Lord's perspective. From the Lord's perspective, He's not after rice, tomatoes, potatoes, puri. He would prefer potatoes over broccoli or this or that. No, He's not concerned about the matter because that's all coming from Him anyway. That way. But when you make something, actually what it is where your heart is. That's what is important. And I am also observing lately in myself that that's why I think it's very important that we should render some service in the temple. When you do services in the temple, there is no, you do it for Krishna, isn't it? Those of you who have that experience. Let's say now Radhashtami is coming. You go to the temple, you help in making garlands, you help in cutting up vegetables. Whatever services that you do, your consciousness is, you're making it for the deities and for the festival, for Krishna to please. The whole mood is different. It's different. So we must do some service in the temple. At home also, we must try to, and then whatever we do there, we should try. Nevertheless, Grihasthas' homes and families are quite complicated with our jobs and our kids and their things and all that. So it is, it is understandable that we get distracted, and also our motivation may not always be, let me make a nice offering for Krishna. It may be like, oh, my kids are starving, I need to make something. And then after I make it, oh, let me offer it to Krishna because we have to eat prasadam. We should not eat that which is not prasadam. That's why for deity worship, regulation is important. At a certain times, at least one offering, you make it at one time. That way you are being conscious of Krishna, that I have to give the offering at this time for the Lord. For those who are working, I think it's easier because already your lives are quite regulated. You get only so much time in between your work, and that's when you have to do. So that way, I think Krishna also gets his offerings on time. But if it is about your consciousness that you're saying, if you're not in meetings while you're cooking, I mean, this is what I do. You can try also. It helps me. I turn on Prabhupada's lecture or morning walk. Or sometimes if I'm not able to focus on listening. If there's too much, then I just turn on some bhajan while I'm cooking, or when I'm in the kitchen, right? Like when I'm washing the pots, or when I'm cooking, or when I'm worshipping the deities, I have the lecture on, and so that my consciousness will be, so I may not be actually thinking, oh, I'm making, like, let me make a nice offering for Krishna. That's best if I can actually have that type of mood. But at least to help myself, uh, uh, spiritualize the atmosphere, I turn on Prabhupada's lecture when I'm cooking, or morning walk, or bhajans like that. So that might help you also,
Thank you, Mataji.
if that's possible. And if not, you can even, if sometimes, at home, when there's more people and, everyone is working and, you cannot turn on speakers, then have in the earphone. Yeah, whatever. We just have to find ways and means to hear, and that will help us. The more we hear from realized souls, the more our consciousness is uplifted. From experience, I feel. I see that.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we didn't start reading yet. Who's supposed to read today? I think we read 2 verses yesterday. Isha and Krishnashish, you read? Or Inba Inya, did you read yesterday? I can't remember.
Mataji.
Yes?
Mataji, I didn't read. Inba
You
read.
didn't? Only Inba
Mataji,
read.
Inba read, but I didn't read.
Okay, so
Yes,
we'll start
Mataji.
with you. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. So here the Lord said that without my devotees, I cannot enjoy even my opulence. Lord Vishnu is speaking to Durasamuni. Continuation. Yedaragara putrapta pranan vittam imam param hitva mam sharanam yatah katham tam styaktum utsahe. Yes, Inya.
Since devotees give up their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, and even their lives simply to serve me, without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotees at any time?
Yes, that's the thing. The Lord feels completely obliged because these devotees have given up everything, right? Krishna tells the gopis, I don't have anything to repay you for your love. The bhakti, the love that you're showing me, there's nothing in my treasury which can equal your love for me. That means they've sacrificed everything. They've sacrificed everything for the sake of Krishna. So when someone does a favor, a sensitive person, a sensible person, or an intelligent person will try to do something back in return for that person. And some maybe even more than what that person did. A cultured person would do that. But so if somebody came to Krishna, bowed down before Krishna, and his desire is to get liberation, Krishna might give liberation. Although for others who are not devotees, liberation is very difficult. But they don't have any other desire. They don't have any desire. They don't even want liberation. They don't want anything. They simply want to please Krishna. This is pure devotees. So here Lord Vishnu is saying that how can I give up such devotees? How can I give up such devotees at any time? And these devotees, what do they not undergo for my sake? They give up their homes, their wives, their children, their relatives, their riches, and they even give up their lives. For what? Simply to serve me, for my service. They accept all types of tribulations. And they don't do this generally. We also do in this world, material world also, people do austerities. Yes, you give up watching movies, you give up going to restaurants, and you have some exam, right? Some big exam coming up. People don't stop all types of sense gratification, and they just lock themselves up in a room and just study so many hours, 16 hours, 20 hours a day, day after day after day for months. That's sacrifice. But why are they doing that? Because the result of this sacrifice, I will get something. They have some desire in the end. So that's why here Lord Vishnu is saying, they give up everything to do my service without any desire for material improvement in this life. Then you may say, oh, then they want liberation. At this life, let me just give it to Krishna, because after this life, it's going to be relieved. No, they don't want anything. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, birth after birth, bhavatad bhaktir ahaituki tvai, life after life, birth after birth, I want ahaituki bhakti. Ahaituki means what? Hetu means there's some cause. There's some cause for that bhakti. That means there is some expectation. By doing this bhakti, something good will happen to me. Ahaituki means no expectation, no motivation. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying in Shikshashtakam, give me that type of bhakti, ahaituki bhakti. That means pure devotional service. Birth after birth, that means I don't even want liberation. And here the Lord is saying, how can I ever give up the association of such devotees at any time? Purport. So Jai Ganesh Prabhu, Jai Shri Mataji, they're there. Inya, Prabhuji and Mataji are there. Oh, did they leave? Maybe, I think their internet is weak. Okay. So, Isha, first paragraph.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped by the words Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. Thus, he is the well-wisher of the Brahmanas. The Rasa Muni was certainly a very great Brahmana, but because he was a non-devotee, he could not sacrifice everything in devotional service. Great mystic yogis are actually self-interested. The proof is that when Durvasa Muni created a demon to kill Maharaj Ambarish, the king stayed fixed in his place, praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and depending solely and wholly on him. Whereas when Durvasa Muni was chased by the Sudarshan Chakra, by the supreme will of the Lord, he was so perturbed that he fled all over the world and tried to take shelter in every nook and corner of the universe. At last, in his fear, he approached Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was so interested in his own body that he wanted to kill the body of a Vaishnava. Therefore, he did not have very good intelligence. And how can an unintelligent person be delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The Lord certainly tries to give all protection to his devotees, who have given up everything for the sake of serving him.
Yes, Krishna says, Ye yathamam prapadyante, tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmanu vartante, manushya partha sarvashah. So, Krishna is saying, as one approaches me, I reward him accordingly. So, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, he is the Lord of the Brahmanas. Of course, certainly, he is the Lord of the Brahmanas. He is the well-wisher of the Brahmanas. But who is the best, topmost Brahmana? A Vaishnava. So according to his level, right? So Durvasa Muni was a Brahmana, but he was not a Vaishnava. And he tried to kill a Vaishnava. So and although he was a great mystic, yogi, so actually the ultimate goal of mystic yoga, Ashtanga yoga, actually is to go to Vaikuntha. So they meditate on the form. So this is in the second canto. We read about this, right? Initially they meditate on the universal form. Yeah, of course, that is if you are not able to meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord, then you begin with meditating on the material form, the universal form, with the idea that all this is also the energy of the Lord. That's how you're trying to meditate on the Supreme Lord through the things that you are able to conceive. But your goal is ultimately to reach the Supreme Lord. So those who actually perfect this mystic yoga system, they will actually go back to Vaikuntha. But not all mystic yogis are actually meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and going back to Vaikuntha. In Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever is discussed, it is every verse is talking about bhakti. Every verse, every word of Bhagavatam is actually talking about bhakti. So even when you hear descriptions of Ashtanga Yoga in Srimad Bhagavatam, the goal of that Ashtanga Yoga is only Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to go to Vaikuntha and render devotional service to him. Like Dhruv Maharaj also did, Ashtanga Yoga. But others who are not so advanced, they improve their standard from what it is in the present. We are on the earthly planet, so they go to higher. Some people get some siddhis, they go to Siddhaloka, or they go to higher planets, right? They may go to Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Brahmaloka, like that, by their Ashtanga Yoga process, depending on their desires. That means they have not achieved the perfection yet. So Durvasa Muni was not a devotee. Although he was a mystic yogi, he was not a devotee. That is why he tried to kill a Vaishnava. How would a Vaishnava try to kill another Vaishnava who is very dear to Krishna? Right? So then the Lord is Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, means he is the well-wisher of Brahmanas. Durvasa Muni is a Brahmana, but because he was not a devotee, he was not in the same position. Like, what is the Lord saying here? My devotees sacrifice everything for my sake. How can I give up such devotees? The Lord is saying. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that Durvasa Muni did not qualify for that position, that he could sacrifice everything for the sake of Lord Vishnu. How do we know that he could not sacrifice? When Sudarshan Chakra was chasing after him, he was not surrendered to the Lord that, okay, my Lord, if you want me to die, I surrender, whatever you want. Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. I am at your lotus feet, you can do with me whatever you like. Was that his consciousness? No, he was trying to get help wherever he could get. So that shows us he was not on that level of, what Lord Vishnu is speaking in this verse. That's the point. Of course, Srila Prabhupada is also saying because he wanted to kill the body of a Vaishnava, that means he didn't have good intelligence. He was unintelligent. And then Prabhupada is saying, how can the Lord deliver an unintelligent person? How can an unintelligent person be delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Krishna Bhakta is the most intelligent person. Anyone who takes to bhakti, you should understand he is Sumedhasaha, exceptionally intelligent. And only after you take to the bhakti process, then the Lord is giving you mercy, direct mercy. So how the Lord will give his mercy to an unintelligent person, how he will deliver an unintelligent person? He will give protection to his devotees. That's why first condition, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Mam Ekam. Right? Krishna When he says Mam, he means Krishna, as he was standing in front of Arjuna. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Right? You surrender unto me. Forget all other dharmas. Then aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. So if we don't surrender, then how Krishna will deliver? So Durvasa Muni could not get delivered by Lord Vishnu. Next paragraph. Krishnashish.
Another point in this verse is that the attachment to
Daragara putra.
Daragara Putrakta, home, wife, children, friendship, society, and love, is not the way to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to earth and home for material pleasure cannot become a pure devotee. Sometimes a pure devotee may have a habit or attraction for wife, children, home, but at the same time want to serve the Supreme Lord to the best of his ability. For such a devotee, the Lord makes a special arrangement to take away the objects of his false attachment and thus free him from attachment to wife, home, children, friends, and so on. This is special mercy bestowed upon the devotee to bring him back to Godhead.
Again, this is the Lord's mercy. It's not going to happen by our endeavor, my dear devotees. I mean, you can hear all this, but artificially we cannot overcome these attachments. Yes, through intellect, by hearing from Shastra, you can understand. But simply by understanding by theory, that knot in the heart is not going to go away. That's only going to go away when the Lord shows his special mercy on the devotee. And the Lord will show his mercy when you first show your endeavor in bhakti. You have to come to Ananya Bhakti. When you're doing Ananya Bhakti, then the Lord will show his mercy. By his mercy, your attachment will go away. So the point of this purport is attachment to family, attachment to home, attachment to children, to wife, to husband. These things cannot go hand in hand with pure devotional service. In fact, they are obstacles for pure devotional service. So what should we do then? Oh, there are obstacles, so now we'll start calling each other right. Oh, you are Maya for me. So, because of you, all of you people, my family members, I'm not able to progress in bhakti. I'm going to give you up and I will go and join the temple. Now I'll become a pure devotee. Is it going to work? No.
Put everyone
Grihe
in
thako.
put everyone to the service of Krishna.
Yes. Grihe thako vane thako. Sada hari bole dako. Sukhe dukhe bhule nako. Vadane hari nam bolo re. Right? Whether you stay at home, whether you stay in the forest, always call out to Lord Hari because he is our only shelter. That is Sharanagati. Making external arrangements is not Sharanagati. Sharanagati means calling out to Krishna. Remember yesterday we discussed, if you can get anxiety for Krishna, purchase it, says Rupa Goswami. Right? If you can get anxiety for Krishna, purchase it. So like Mataji said, engage everyone in Krishna or at least make that endeavor. Facilitate for others to practice Krishna consciousness, and then you will face challenges in that. And at all times, under all circumstances, Vadane Hari Naam Bolo Re, always call out to Hari. And when we do this, the Lord sees this, He is pleased, then by His mercy, attachments will go away. Not by changing your cloth from white to saffron, your attachments are gone. Externally you may change, but what will you do to the attachments in the heart? Just because you leave home, it doesn't mean you don't have attachments at home. That is why we need a spiritual master, an expert spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master in parampara, who can guide us according to our state. For some devotees, they may be detached. For them, especially if you are never married and you want to become a brahmachari, then the spiritual master may say, why do you want to enter into family life? It's just an obstacle. Just become a brahmachari. So the spiritual master can recognize, can identify, and he will guide the disciple accordingly. And at the same time, it's not that, yes, it is an attachment is impediment. It's not that the people are impediments. That's what we have to understand. And this attachment is like a hard knot in the heart. Jad Bharat explains. It's like a hard knot. So how can we slacken this knot? By bhakti. By bhakti. We can only do bhakti. Chant Hare Krishna. Take shelter of Krishna. Call out to Krishna. That's the only formula that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us, that all our acharyas are giving us. Chant and take shelter of Krishna. But at the same time, understand these are all strong attachments. And as long as you maintain these attachments, you cannot have your devotional service. As long as you have these attachments, you cannot. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport, isn't it? Let me read it again. Second paragraph. Another point in this verse is that attachment to Dara. Dara means wife. Agara, your home. Putra, your son. Apta, right? Your friends and your community. Well-wishers. So any type of attachment, as grihasthas, don't we have all these attachments? However, we may say it's there, right? You will realize it in times of difficulty. When some family member becomes very sick, or something happens, then you'll realize how much you're attached. Then you will realize. So, but it's not within our capacity to overcome that. We can simply take shelter of Krishna. Achintadev Prabhu.
Mataji, there is attachment, there is duty, there is responsibility. So how do we, and there might be a fine line at times, like we might be doing something as a duty that might be an attachment, but we may not realize that. So how do you understand that?
Do your duty, Prabhuji. Do your duty. Don't worry. Just understand, watch, right? Observe your attachments. That's all. That's why I was making this point. Becoming free from this attachment is not within our capacity. That will happen when the Lord shows His mercy. And mercy is given, right? There's nothing that, we cannot demand it or we cannot claim it, and, we have to wait. All we can do is we have to wait for His mercy. But just watch. The problem is, don't try to cover up your attachment in the name of Krishna consciousness, saying that, oh, they're family members, and in Krishna consciousness, serving the family members, being attached to family members, there is no problem. Yes, if you are actually practicing pure devotional service and your family members are also practicing pure devotional service and everyone is completely attached to Krishna, yes, wonderful, nice. But most of the time, I'm just talking about myself. But most of the time, attachments are there, right? My children, my family, my home, my this, my that will be there. And these things are impediments. These attachments are impediments. That's the point. So duty, what should you do? You should do your duty. That's why there's pure devotional service and there's aspiring to be pure devotees. We all qualify for aspiring or aspirants of pure devotional service. So when you are still aspiring, that means you are not a pure devotee yet. Then what do? You should do your duty. You still have duties to do and you must do your duty. What duties? Duty as a father, duty as a mother, duty as a wife, duty as a husband, duty as a son. We have our duties. We must do our duties. But if one is a pure devotee, he has no duties. He's not obliged to do those duties. He can just quit and go, and he won't get any reaction because he's doing the ultimate duty, serving Krishna all the time, 24/7. But we still have duties, and sometimes, many times, even though you are a pure devotee yourself, still you carry out duties in this world to set example for others. So do your duties. There's no question about that. But what I'm saying is, just watch yourself. When you're doing your duties, watch yourself. Is my attachment to Krishna, or is my attachment to, my bodily connections? And if it is, if you find out that actually my attachments are to my bodily connections, then it will make us humble. It will make us humble. I'm not a pure devotee. It will make us humble, and we'll just go and bow down before Krishna, right? And if we become humble, it's good. That means we'll progress in Krishna consciousness. And if you find out, actually, I'm not attached to these bodily relations, but I'm doing it because this is my duty. Somehow Krishna put me in this situation, and while I'm here, I should do whatever duties are assigned to me in this situation. I must do them. And if that is your consciousness, very good. That's good. Continue like that.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, last time when we discussed this, I remember we also, I put this up and then we discussed about that also. I just wanted to say that when we are staying, when we are with the family, we will have attachment. There's no wrong in that. Remember, we were discussing about in Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharata, Arjuna was also not the initial stage. I'm saying that when Arjuna and the Pandavas, when their kids died, they were crying. Even Krishna was crying, because it's not because of it's because that love and affection will be there. So that emotion is not wrong, not wrong to have that emotion, but still, as you said, we still have to continue our duty. That's what my point is.
Yeah, the point is, there are different levels of devotees. So here the topic is, we are talking about those people who are not yet, talking about Durvasa Muni. And in that context, Srila Prabhupada is saying, of course, Durvasa Muni didn't have a family, but he was still attached to his body, right? He was trying to save his body, protect his body. That means they are not devotees, or they are not yet pure devotees. So for them, it is an obstacle. It is an obstacle. But then, can we just give up artificially? I said that in the beginning. Can we just give up artificially, thinking that, oh, they're all obstacles, we cannot have emotions, we cannot love our children, we cannot hug them, we cannot kiss them? No. Why? Because we don't have that Shraddha and Bhakti yet. Then we have to carry out where we are. We cannot pretend artificially. We cannot pretend to be pure devotees artificially. Now the next point is, well, the Pandavas, they had affection. They were pure devotees. Pure devotees have. But there, one pure devotee is loving another pure devotee. That's on a whole different level. It may seem like, oh, they are also family, they also have kids and mother and children and brothers, and they have affection and they are attracted to, they have a wife and this and that. But they're all pure devotees. So there the chemistry is different. That affection is on the transcendental plane. But those who are not pure devotees, who still have attachments in this world for them, like Grihamedis also, right? Grihamedis, they also have affection for family. So then the bottom line is, if you want to maintain attachments in this world also, and also carry out Krishna consciousness, and you want to become a pure devotee, it's not going to happen. And what you are supposed to give up is not your duties, is not your responsibilities. You can even show love. There's nothing wrong. A mother showing love to the children, a wife showing affection for her husband, husband taking responsibility for the family. There's nothing wrong with that. The point is about attachment. That's what we are not getting. The whole Bhagavad Gita talks about that only. Right from the beginning till the end, it's talking about attachment. Attached. This is mine. That's what we have to overcome. That's the point. But let's not try to justify it that it's okay. This is also okay. But don't misunderstand me. Don't think that I'm suggesting that now you should not love your family members. You shouldn't love. That's not the point at all. But those who are pure devotees, so many examples. Recently we read in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srivas Thakur's son died. Where was Srivas Thakur's attachment? I mean, I would dread to even put myself in his situation, to even imagine something like that happening. I would dread to even imagine being in that situation. It actually happened to him. But what was his consciousness? He was more attached to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's happiness than anything else, not even to his son. But does it mean that he didn't show affection to his son and to his family members? Of course, he was taking care of them, maintaining them, and doing everything. They probably had festivals and showed affection and everything. But when there is a choice between Krishna's service, Krishna's pleasure, and any of your attachments, a pure devotee will just be concerned about Krishna's service. Why? Because his supreme attachment, his only attachment is Krishna's service. Like that. So we are looking at pure devotees. Let's just admit it that we are not pure devotees. That's all. Nothing else. All we have to do here is don't stop loving your family members or anything. That's not the point. But our destination is we want to love Krishna. Anyabhilashita shunyam. We want to love Krishna. How will we love Krishna like that? When Krishna gives us mercy. Not by stopping our duties in this world. Again, that also Krishna said, right? Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatutishtatya karmakrit. You cannot stop doing anything even for a moment, right? Arjun wanted to quit the war. Krishna said, no, even if you quit and go into the forest, you'll be thinking about how these people, because you're a Kshatriya, you won't be able to maintain yourself as a Brahmana in the forest by begging because you're a Kshatriya. That means you're on the material platform. So don't pretend to be a pure devotee and, don't imitate a pure devotee. That's the point. That's the point. But even if we are not pure devotees, just admitting that I'm not a pure devotee, I have attachments. Of course, I have attachments. So many attachments I have. Then Bhagavatam says our goal is to develop love for Krishna. But I have these attachments. How can these attachments go away? Not by my effort. Yogis would try that, right? Artificially means mechanically, controlling the mind, controlling the sense. We simply chant Hare Krishna because we depend on Krishna. We depend on Krishna. And of course, we have to minimize our sense gratification. And it's not too big. Srila Prabhupada made it so simple, isn't it? But everything will come. He assured us, if you simply strictly follow the procedure that he has given us and stay in the association of devotees, follow whatever Srila Prabhupada has given us, the simple program, everything will come. Perfection will come. It can come even in this very lifetime if you're serious. You can become a pure devotee and all your attachments can go away. Everything is possible. So it's not a hopeless case at all. Not at all. And for now, what should we do? Yes, we should take care of our family. We should take care of the family members. How do we take care of them? See them as Krishna's children, Krishna's parts and parcels, Krishna's servants. And try to facilitate their devotional service in whatever capacity you can. With little children, very little children like Madhavi, you will set the right example, right? Because they'll just follow. Whatever you do, they will follow. You bow down in front of Krishna, they'll come and bow down, right? You sing Kirtan, they'll also sing. They see that little children, they see my mother, my father, mother, they are happy when they are, worshipping Krishna, when they are chanting, or when I chant, they are happy. They want to make you happy. So that's the way. So that's how you serve, facilitate their becoming Krishna conscious. Little older kids, yeah, you tell them some philosophy. Again, setting example is always required at every stage. You have to set the example. You cannot tell them something which you yourself are not following. It doesn't work. And with even superiors like husbands, in-laws, maybe even parents, superiors, how do you preach to them? There your preaching is by your humility. By your humility. Oh, by becoming a devotee, this person, my subordinate has changed so much. He's so humble and so obedient and so on and so forth. And of course, you don't engage in sinful activities, sense gratification, right? You don't engage in sense gratification. You're more tolerant, you're more understanding, all these things. I think, wow, this is so nice. By taking to Krishna consciousness, this person has become so nice. And then they would want to hear from you, and then you can tell them whatever you're practicing. That's the way to preach. Like that. So in this way, we can facilitate our, the devotional service of our family members. But to do all of this also, you will need Krishna's help. That is why Vadane Hari Naam Bolo Re. Grihe Thako, Vane Thako, Sada Hari Bole Dako, Sukhe Dukhe Bhulo Nako, Vadane Hari Naam Bolo Re. Whether it is happiness, whether it is distress, whether things are favorable or they are unfavorable. Under all circumstances, just chant Krishna's names. That's all.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So it's 5:30. Let's see. I completed that purport. I think I'm just talking too much these days. Maybe we should read more than just, right?
Explanation is also required, Mataji, and clarification of the doubt.
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, what do you think? Should we just focus more on covering and, because I see that for the past 2, 3, 4 days, just one shloka, 2 shlokas per day, like that we are doing.
Mataji, it is said, read scrutinizingly.
Acha, so you don't mind. Saturdays and Sundays we can discuss more. Okay. Okay.
And
Priyanka
Balabhadra
Mataji.
Prabhu yesterday was saying, read scrutinizingly.
Okay. Yeah.
And take the advice of the seniors. So here we are clarifying our doubts, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't have any problem with your asking doubts. I have a problem with my answers. I think I just use too many words for, you know, actually that comes with advancement. True eloquence is using few words and still sending the message across. But
Mataji, in this essay, there is no word limit. So you're fine.
okay. Yeah, but
Sorry, Mataji. Huh?
no, I'm just saying at any time, because I'm here to do this service. So at any time you feel that we are going too slow and we need to cover the syllabus, we need to move a little faster, let me know and I will keep that in mind while we are reading. As of now, everyone seems to be okay. Sonia Mataji, I want your input also.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam,
Yes,
all glories to
Dandavat
Srila
Pranam
Prabhupada.
Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, I like this. With every sloka, you are trying to bring the pure devotional service in that connection. So it
Acha.
really helps. It helps us reminding where we are and where, like, how we should keep on meditating on how we can move to the pure devotional service. So it's
Okay.
really very helpful.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you're okay. Okay. Sometimes my children get bored that I talk a lot. So I wanted to check from all of you also.
And Mataji also, like, you're trying to uplift us, right? So it's not the amount that we cover, it's our change in the lifestyle that happens with what we are learning.
Yeah,
If we
that's right.
Bhagavatam and do not change our, we remain the way we were when we were in the beginning, that doesn't help you or us.
That's actually true. There has to be a change. Like after the whole thing, if we are still where we were when we started off, there has to be a change in consciousness. But yeah, I'm not. I'm trying to uplift myself also. What I try to do when we read is I try to go deeper and deeper, like go through Prabhupada's words in the purport, his lines, each line, just look at it from different angles. And as I'm trying to look at it, that's what I'm speaking. So that's what I'm doing. And if that is helping everyone, then good, we'll do at that pace. And I hope the children are also okay. Let's hear from them too. Isha, what do you think? Just be honest. I just want to hear your input. Would you rather, like, is it good the way, the pace at which we are going, discussing and all that? Or would you rather see us cover, like, move with the shlokas faster?
I was just going through the recordings of the past few days, so I was seeing how many slokas we covered each day. Some days it's fine, other days it's a little more like. I think we can with the Bhagavad Gita Sloka in the beginning, the memorization Sloka, on that we can cut down the discussion a little bit.
Reduce the discussion
Yeah,
on
with the
that.
memorization Sloka and then give more time to Bhagavatam.
And we can discuss in Bhagavatam, you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is with Bhagavad Gita, what I was doing was I was giving Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. And the reason I was doing that is you will see it when you read it the next time. You will actually see the connections. When you read Srila Prabhupada's purports, now you'll actually see the flow of the verses and the points that Srila Prabhupada is giving when you read the Bhagavad Gita next time. So I was just trying to give that. But of course, the thing is we have only that much time, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And in that, trying to do Bhagavad Gita, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentaries, shloka memorization, Bhagavad Gita again, Srimad Bhagavatam, Leelamrita, trying to pack everything in there. Sometimes more time on one and less time on other. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for that input.
But it's not like that. It's not like that every day. It's like that
Some
sometimes.
days.
So that's fine, I think.
Okay. Yes, Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, So this Jiva Goswami's comments and all those things which you are giving, which is for me, it's very nectarian. The reason is I cannot, I don't have time to go through other courses and all. Since you have taken that and you are, giving that knowledge to us, I really relish it. And even in the Bhagavad Gita, which Isha is saying, I understand her point. But the thing is, even like Achintya Prabhu just now said, yesterday Balabhadra Prabhu in Bensalam's program, he was saying that his life, he was saying that whenever, he was saying that some devotees, they just read the translation and move on. So then some senior devotee of Prabhupada actually told that, why are you doing that? Prabhupada has taken so much pain to write the purport. You don't have the, like even the courtesy to go through that. and and we need to know more, even for the Bhagavad Gita sloka, that see, we will be finishing soon and we will again start over, but now we have to do it very scrutinizingly, because at least, as our memory is very bad, we don't remember all of them, but sometimes when we read one line, we recollect those things. That's why I give example. That's why I sometimes say that, oh, remember we discussed on this. So those things, stays in the brain, and then that becomes, slowly it increases the more we discuss. And it's
Yeah.
never, as we see, that it's never boring, because every time there is one point coming up, every time there is one explanation. So I don't think we should stop, Mataji. Now it is up to
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I was feeling over the past few days, I was thinking I should get a feedback. Um, but looks like everyone is fine, so we'll just do that way, no problem. Yeah. Okay. So let's. It's 5:40 already. We will do Bhagavad Gita since it's Sunday. So I'm going to stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text 77. Please repeat. Tacha we finished this? Anyway, maybe it's different. Tacha samsmritya rupam atyadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah punah. O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. So it is similar to the previous verse. Previous verse, Sanjay is saying, as I remember the conversation of Krishna and Arjun, right? Then I am struck with wonder, right? Samsmritya, it comes with. I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjun, and I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. So the next verse, what we read today, is saying that, O King, as I remember the form of Lord Krishna, not the dialogue, but now he's coming to the form. As I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It appears that Sanjaya also, by the grace of Vyasa, could see the universal form Krishna exhibited to Arjun. It is, of course, said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjun only. Yet, some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjun. And Vyasa was one of them. Vyasa was seeing, and also Sanjay. He is one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjun and enjoyed it repeatedly. Okay, so Sanjay is remembering the wonderful form of Krishna. Even the universal form, apparently the universal form also, he could see the wonderful form like that. I mean, we can discuss on this, but the time is up, so we'll discuss later. Let's read Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. Continuation. So Srila Prabhupada is writing in his diary, and he got heart attacks, and then finally he's able to eat something. Thursday, September 9 to 4 this afternoon, we have crossed over the Atlantic Ocean for 24 hours. The whole day was clear and almost smooth. I am taking my food regularly and have got some strength to struggle. So now I have some strength to struggle. There is also a slight tacking of the ship, and I am feeling a slight headache also. But I am struggling, and the nectarine of life is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the source of all my vitality. Friday, September 10. Today the ship is flying very smoothly. I feel today better, but I am feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my lords Sri Govinda, Gopinath, Radha, Damodar. The only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in which I am tasting the nectarine of Lord Chaitanya's Leela pastimes. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His divine grace. I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. During the voyage, Srila Prabhupada sometimes stood on deck at the ship's rail, watching the ocean and the sky, and thinking of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vrindavan Dham, and the order of his spiritual master to go preach in the West. Mrs. Pandya, the captain's wife, whom Srila Prabhupada considered to be an intelligent and learned lady, foretold Srila Prabhupada's future. If he were to pass beyond this crisis in his health, she said, it would indicate the goodwill of Lord Krishna. So we'll stop there. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees, thank you all so much for joining this morning. Thank you all for your association.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
for taking so much pain for us. Thank you. Hare Krishna.